By Jason Brodsky. He's the policy director at United Against a Nuclear Iran. Great to see you, Jason. So this would suggest, wouldn't it, that the US believes there is still room for diplomacy with the Iranian regime?
It's great to be with you, Laura. If this report is true, I think it's outrageous and unacceptable. I don't know who the State Department is representing, but it's certainly not representing a mainstream American position that is supported by bipartisan majorities in the House and the Senate, that there is a need to prescribe the IRGC as a terrorist organization. Members of Congress have spoken about this need, and quite frankly, this is what we expect from our government. And also, I think that the argument that this IRGC terrorist organization designation would foreclose diplomatic channels is without any merit. The United States and its allies have other channels which to choose from to talk to Tehran through the Swiss, the Omanis, the Qataris, the list goes on. So I just don't, the argument is without any merit.
Well, Iran has, of course, just sentenced a dual German-Iranian national to death. The news channel Iran International had to close its London offices because of death threats to its journalists. Europeans do have plenty of reasons, don't they, Jason, to list the IRGC as a terrorist organisation. Do you think the sole reason they are holding back is because of the United States?
I think it's probably a combination of factors. I think that there is a dispute between the Home Office and the Security Minister, who both support the designation of the IRGC as a terrorist organization, and the Foreign Office. But let's take a look at the record as to what a diplomatic presence from the UK and the Islamic Republic has produced. More terrorism, more hostage-taking, and a dead nuclear deal. So I don't understand what they're afraid of losing.
Meanwhile, some interesting comments from the Iranian Foreign Ministry. It has declared itself willing to adhere to the Non-Proliferation Treaty, and it would also like to separate talks on its nuclear program from their role in the war in Ukraine, notably selling drones to Russia. What do you make of that?
Well, first, I think that these are just lures that the Iranian regime puts out to try to fool Western interlocutors that they're really interested in meaningful diplomacy. We've seen this movie before. In that other report, I think from Al Monitor that you cited, there was a line in there about how the Iranian regime wants the JCPOA and wants to have a normal relationship with the West. Yeah, normal on their terms. More hostage-taking, terrorism, and arms proliferation, and that's quite frankly unacceptable to the United States and its allies. So I don't put too much into these statements from Tehran.
And of course, the UN nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, says that Iran is now enriching uranium to 84%. The Israeli Prime Minister says that he's willing to take military action. How credible do you think is that threat, and what level of support would there be for Israel from the United States?
Well, I would hope that the United States would support Israel doing what it needs to do to protect its security. This is a failure of deterrence if it is confirmed that Iran is enriched to 84% by the IAEA, and there needs to be consequences. Iran has steadily advanced its nuclear program over the last 2 years because we have had a maximum deference policy, and there have not been any tangible consequences for its advances. And I think it's time for the United States and its European allies to wake up to the reality that their policy has failed and to articulate a way forward.
All right, Jason, thanks very much. Jason Brodsky there.